Good afternoon, viewers. Today we are discussing and knowing about the conducting examination for persons with disability. You know that persons with disability have several barriers to face in the society and in every environment. So, government has prepared or framed a guideline particularly for examination, because you know that education is very important component for the empowerment of persons with disability, and particularly for all education, the outcome of the education is evaluated through examination, and based on the result of the examination, the students including students with disability, get the certificates or degree, whatever it is. So, examination is very important for whole education system, you can say. So, since examination is important and mandatory for each and every students, for person with disability, I think it is a very good step of the government of India to prepare a guideline, to give some sort of facility during examination, to make them equal or provide them equal opportunity during examination or particularly during written examination, so that they can compete with their fellow peers. So, this examination guideline has been prepared by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability, Government of India. Particularly this examination guidelines talk about the various provisions or facilities provided during the written examination, and this is applicable for all written examination, including school, college, university, and including all type of competitive examination conducted by any agencies, competent agencies. So, you can see that how important this is, particularly many queries received by us at National Center for Disability Studies during examination that students are demanding this, students are demanding a scribe, students are demanding extra time, students are demanding something else. So, that is why, considering the demand of the students with disability, the Government of India has prepared this, and it has been a very comprehensive guideline. So, we will discuss about this. Let me tell you first that there are two guidelines for conducting or examination for person with disability. Before going for the provisions of conducting written examination, let us know about the disability. What does it mean, disability? So, see, this is as per RPWD. You might be knowing that RPWD Act is an act which is in force at present for the rights, for providing the rights of persons with disability and giving them an opportunity to empower them and mainstream them in the society. So, when we conceptualize the concept of disability, then disability is okay, but who are the person who are suffering from the disability, or you can say the condition of disability is being affected to the person. Who are they? So, a person with long term physical, mental, intellectual or sensory impairment, which in interaction with barriers hinders his full and effective participation in society equally with others. This definition denotes the rights or social issue of the disability. According to this definition, disability is a social issue, disability is a social phenomena, not the personal or medical phenomena. Because person with disability is a diversity, another human diversity. So, like other diversity requires something, this diversity also requires something else or something different from their fellow peers or their fellow other persons, so called we called normal person. So, here what does it mean? This disability definition, what does it mean? It means that the person with disability is affecting through disability because of the environment, because environment is not supporting the person for his or her livelihood, for his or her day-to-day function. So, we have to take care of the environment more than the person. If we take care of the environment, I think person will be able to just integrate themselves in the that particular environment. So, this as per RPWD Act, this definition has changed the whole concept of disability. Here person is not responsible, rather environment is responsible, society is responsible for the disability. But there is another concept in between, that is person with a specified disability and person with benchmark disability. So, these two concepts is very important. Let us know about the person with benchmark disability. So, a person with not less than 40% of a specified disability. Now, you can say that what does it mean, a specified disability? A specified disability means the disability which has been defined or which has been scheduled in the RPWD Act, that is disability, a specified disability. And if that disability is measured in terms of number, in terms of degree, and if that degree is being considered for giving any sort of facility to person with disability, that is called benchmark disability. So, if you see this definition, a person with not less than 40% of a specified disability, where a specified disability has not been defined in measurable terms, and include a person with a disability where a specified disability has been defined in measurable terms as certified by the certifying authority. Because there is a provision of certification of disability for providing any sort of facilities to person with disability within the environment and within the community. So, for that purpose, the degree of disability is important, and that degree has been considered at 40% minimum. If the disability is 40% in measurable terms, and that 40% is decided by a competent constituted board by the respective government. It means that is benchmark disability. It means 40% is a benchmark. Above 40%, 40% and above is a benchmark, but not less than 40%. And the other is a specified disability, because guideline has been prepared for both a benchmark disability and a specified disability. Now, you can say if a person is having less than 40% disability, then what facility will be given to him or her? So, I will say that particularly for written examination, the facility is also provided to the person who is having this less than 40% disability. But it is only for the conducting written examination, not other facility like reservation, like other facility whatever is giving during the admission, for pension, disability pension. These are the things which is not considered for below 40% person with disability. For all these facility, requirement is 40%, means benchmark. Other than less than 40% is only considered for the examination on the order given by the Honorable Supreme Court, on the judgment given by the Honorable Supreme Court, and considering the order of Honorable Supreme Court, the guidelines have been framed for the persons who is having less than 40% disability also. So, we have seen that there are two types of persons with disability. One is persons with benchmark disability and the other is persons with a specified disability, means less than, as all are a specified disability. But if within that specified disability, if the person is having more than 40 or more than 40% disability, it means that person is having benchmark disability, and if the person is having less than 40% disability, it means the person is having only a specified disability, not benchmark disability. So, this is the basic difference. And now you can see that RPWD Act, Rights of Persons with Disability Act, has considered this type of disability. And before that, before the implementation of Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016, there was another act, that is Persons with Disability Act. Under that act, only 7 types of disability were there. But now in RPWD Act, the type of disability or categories of disability are 21. And that 21 disability is considered for all purpose, for all facilities, providing if the person is having benchmark disability. So, you can see that locomotor disability is having considered or reference to arm, leg or motor function, that is locomotor disability. Then leprosy cured, you know that leprosy is considered as disease, but the effect of the leprosy is some considered, or the social rehabilitation of the person with leprosy considered for the under this act. Then cerebral palsy is also a physical disability, including mental paralysis. So, this disability is physical as well as you can say the brain having effect in the brain. Then dwarfism, 4 feet 10 inches or less is a dwarfism. And then muscular dystrophy. Then acid attack victims, it's a very important, or you can say that it has been included in the RPWD Act as a disability, because I cannot imagine the trauma the person face after having acid attack. So, this is very important for all of us. Then blindness, low vision, blindness, low vision, person can see, but there are some limitation in vision. Then deafness, then hard of hearing. There is a difference between hard of hearing and deafness. Hard of hearing means person must have some sort of hearing available within that, means that is called residual hearing. But for deaf, there is no hearing available, no residual hearing is there. So, they cannot even speak, because a speech development of a speech is on the basis of hearing. If person is not able to hear, the person will not be able to even speak. So, deafness is a different from hard of hearing. Hard of hearing can occur at any stage of the life, but deafness mainly happens either by birth or even postlingual, even after having some sort of severe disease, but mostly it is by birth. And then intellectual disability, before that it was mental retardation, now it is intellectual disability, because as per RPWD Act, the name is intellectual disability. And then a specific learning disability, it is also a very important, you can see that learning disability you cannot see unless you are not interacting with the person. So, this is also a very hidden disability, you can say. Then autism spectrum disorder, very now I think people are aware about autism spectrum disorder. Then mental illness, this is mental illness is disease as well as disability. Then chronic neurological condition, this has been included in RPWD Act, first time. Then hemophilia, thalassemia and sickle cell, all these three are the blood disorder, which is also included in the RPWD Act. Then multiple disability, two disability or more than two disability considered as multiple disability. So these are the 21 type of disability, which is very, I think, important and considered for providing facilities during examination, provided the person is having benchmark disability or even for a specified disability. So for first of all, we will see the person guidelines for person with benchmark disability. During when the guideline was formulated, it was decided that there should be a uniform and comprehensive policy across the country for persons with benchmark disability for written examination. Before that, before this guideline, there was not a concrete policy, or you can say guideline, which supports the persons with disability in the form of providing facilities during written examination. Because when person is giving examination, he or she has to compete with the other who are some or other more you can say more physically competent than the person with disability. So it is our duty to compensate that with the providing the facilities during examination, and that's why this guideline is considered very comprehensive. So first thing which is provided the two persons with disability during written examination, during the time of written examination, that is the facility of a scribe. Who are a scribe and what does it mean, a scribe? Scribe means the person who is supporting the person with disability in writing or in reading or in assistance during lab activity. So they are considered as a scribe. So you can say all these three, reader, lab assistants and writer, all these three are considered as a scribe. So the facility of a scribe should be allowed to person with benchmark disability. So under this guideline, the facility of a scribe is allowed to person with disability. They can take the help of take the assistance of a scribe to write their examination. Suppose a person is having blindness, so they can avail the facility of a scribe, and they can just dictate, means the person who is a candidate for giving examination, he or she can dictate the person for writing who is working as a scribe. In the same way, person who is having locomotor disability or having problem in writing, so they can also, that person can also dictate and dictate for writing to the scribe, and the scribe can write for him or her. But there are certain conditions for a scribe. So that condition is the person should have limitation in writing, including those of speed. First of all, you think that the person who is taking the services of a scribe, that person, or you can say candidate, must have the writing problem or limitation in writing. So or even for a speed problem, because examination need at a time bound activity, so speed is very important over there. So if problem is having a speed also, person cannot write fast, so they can also avail the facilities of a scribe. I am talking only about the with reference to person with disability, not about the non-person with disability. Then person with blindness, locomotor disability and cerebral palsy. These are the three disability which is very important for taking the services of a scribe. And if they are requiring the services of a scribe, the examination body is supposed to provide and allow them to take the services of a scribe. Then the other category of person with benchmark disability for scribe who are having other disability, but there is a condition that if the person is having other disability other than locomotor, other than cerebral palsy, other than blindness, other than low vision, one thing is important, that person must have the writing difficulty. Person must not be able to write properly. And in that case, any disability, even hearing disability, even learning disability, if the person is having writing problem, they can get or avail the facilities of a scribe. But one thing that is very important for taking the services of a scribe, that you have to take the certificate from medical authority that you are having benchmark disability first, and then another certificate that you are having writing difficulty. So this is important for availing the services of a scribe. And that certificate has to be produced before the examination body well in advance. Then you can see that the candidate has the discretion. When provision for a scribe, there are certain conditions for providing a scribe. First of all, the candidate has discretion for opting his or her own scribe, but the qualification of the scribe should be one step below the qualification of candidate taking examination. Suppose one candidate having blindness, he or she is taking examination of graduation. So if the person is availing the services of a scribe, that scribe qualification should be less than the graduation, but not less than matriculation or 10. At least minimum qualification is 10, maximum will be +2, not graduate. So this is very important condition, and all of us must take into consideration while providing the services of, or while allowing anybody means a person with disability, to get the services of a scribe. Or if the candidate is not having own scribe, they can also request the examination body for providing the services of a scribe. In such case, it shall be ensured that qualification of the scribe should not be more than the qualification criteria of examination, minimum qualification criteria of the examination. The same way, if the person is going for the +2 examination, the qualification of a scribe should not be +2 or even more, rather it should be 10 only. Then candidates should also be allowed to take more than one scribe. There are so many queries sometimes during examination, term examination of IGNOU. We got the clarification, we got the doubt from different examination center that the scribe is going to change. The candidate is going to change the scribe. So is it okay or not? Then as per this guideline, the candidate should also be allowed to take more than one scribe for writing different examination, but not one examination. You cannot change a scribe in one examination, different scribe in one examination. Rather, you can change your scribe in different examination. But today you are taking one scribe. If that scribe is not available on the next day, one candidate can avail the services of other scribe on the next day of examination. So it is the prerogative of the candidate that he or she can change the services of a scribe in different examination. Then there should be also a flexibility in accommodating any change in a scribe in case of emergency. Suppose examination is being written by some scribe and candidate is dictating, and some emergency arise even for the scribe. If within the scribe some emergency agent arise, any emergency, any medical emergency or any type of social emergency, that can be considered by the examination body to allow for the change of a scribe. So the services of scribe is very important, you can say, and all these conditions must be taken care by the examination body and by even the center while going for the examination. Then mode of taking examination. This is also another facility which is provided during examination, written examination under this guideline. That is, person with disability given option of mode of taking examination like braille or in computer or in large print or even by recording the answer. These are the options which has been given under this guideline. One person with blindness can go for writing in braille, go for word processing on computer, and go for large print also, and go for recording of answer also. So all these are the allowed. All these are the things which is allowed under this guideline, and all examination body have to consider what is allowed, what are the things allowed, what are the provisions allowed under this guidelines. And if allowed, if all these allowed, suppose one person with blindness requires to write on the computer, if it has been allowed by the examination body, then the candidate should be allowed to check the computer system one day in advance so that the problem of any software or system could be rectified. So it is necessary to allow the candidate to check the system going on the examination center computer system, so that any problem, if it is there, any software problem, any system problem, any other problem, that can be rectified and that can be taken care of by the examination body. So all these are the things which has to be taken care during when we are going to allow for the examination and giving some sort of optional things which is considered by the candidate, and that has to be considered by the examination body as well, whatever the provided in this guideline under that category only. So can we take? So now I am taking a short break, meeting after that. Thank you.
Online and digital platforms are part and parcel of our life. Whether we are booking tickets, playing a movie, playing games, every aspect of our life is depending on online and digital services. Welcome to the Postgraduate Diploma in Digital Media. In the contemporary India, nearly 92% of the population connected to mobile, close to 70% connected to internet. Be it a social life or individual life or academic activity or government sector, we are so much part of this online revolution. You will learn this particular program from interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary perspective. The learning from this diploma about digital media helps you to boost your career in the communication discipline, or you can integrate with your own area of exploration. This particular diploma is focusing on the following areas: understanding the digital media from multiple perspectives of the social setup, applications of ICT in various sectors, issues of the contemporary scenario of digital media like access, understanding and participation. We have practicals on digital journalism. We are running our own online news portal, The Voices, you can access it, and we have project on internet research. This is a one-year program, 32 credit course worth of courses are incorporated. There are 5 courses related to theory, 1 practicals on project. Practical about digital journalism and project is about internet research. The open learning system adopted by the Indira Gandhi National Open University follows certain characteristics. It's a flexible and convenient can be customized as per your needs and the same quality adopted in a postgraduate diploma in digital media. Catch up with the online and digital revolution. Learn more about this platform. Register for this diploma. Connect with us. We will learn together.
Welcome viewers after short break. So we are talking about the facilities or the guidelines which has been developed by the Government of India, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability, which are being followed by all higher educational institutions or examining body and under that guideline several facilities for providing equal opportunity to persons with disability has been given. So we are discussing about that facilities, and we discussed about the scribe, services of a scribe in detail, provisions, conditions of a scribe, condition for availing the services of a scribe, all we discuss in detail. Now we will discuss another very important aspect which is being provided to person with disability and during written examination. Or that facility is providing extra or additional time. So this was called extra and additional time. Now it is called compensatory time. But all these three words are important, and we can use all these three words, either extra time or additional time or even compensatory time. But better to use compensatory time, because we are compensating the person with disability to providing them equal opportunity. So as per guideline, 20 minutes per hour compensatory time is given during written examination. If the examination is of 2 hours duration, the compensatory time will be given, which will be 40 minutes. If the examination is of 3 hours duration, the compensatory time will be given, which will be 1 hour. So 20 minutes extra means if the examination is of 3 hours, it means we have to provide 1 hour compensatory time to persons with disability who are writing the examination. And candidates who are not availing, here it is very important point, there is very important point that candidate who are not availing the services of a scribe, because it is supposed that the person is availing the services of a scribe because the candidate is dictating to a scribe and the scribe is writing. So there are some extra time is needed over there, because communication is little delayed. But that's why 20 minutes is given, or for 3 hours, 1 hour is given. But the question is, when the candidate who are not availing the services of a scribe, whether they should be allowed 20 minutes extra or not, whether they should be allowed 1 hour out of 3 hours or not. So the answer is yes, they can also be allowed extra time during examination. So they also require to provide some sort of extra time, compensatory time during examination for those, because this question we face always, that they are not taking the services of a scribe but asking for extra time. Yes, they can ask, and they can ask, and we have to provide, because we cannot deprive the person of extra time. Then assistive device, it is also very important. The candidate should be allowed to use, as per this guideline, the candidate should be allowed to use assistive devices like talking calculator. Talking calculator in case of the examination is of math or where calculation is required. Then tailor frame. Tailor frame is also a device which is used by the person with blindness. Then braille slate. This is also a device which is used by the person with blindness or low vision. Then abacus. This is also a device used by the educational device. You can say the educational aid. Aids and appliances means these are the aids. So then geometry kit, braille measuring tape, and augmentative communication device like communication chart and electronic devices. All these are the things, devices which can be allowed during examination, written examination, if demanded by the candidate for using during the examination. So it is our duty to just ask for with the candidate whether all these are required or not, because examining body has to arrange all these things, or even candidate can bring their own devices. For that, examining body has to allow them for this, using this during the written examination. And another aspect is very important, that is seating arrangement. Seating arrangement during examination, during written examination. One case I can refer you that I was observing one exam that was competitive examination, and that was conducted in a big, you can say big examination center, and one person with locomotor disability, wheelchair bound, he was supposed to go on first floor for giving the examination. It was much before, when even guideline was not there. So that was the case. That was the time when people were not provided such facility, because there was no guideline. And that person was brought to the examination room by lifting by 2 or 3 people. So this was the very pathetic condition for the persons with disability that time, but now it is okay. Now it is, I think, very comfortable position. Government is taking care and government is providing, and all institutions who are conducting written examination, either term examination or any competitive examination, they are very sensitive and they are providing such facility to persons with disability during examination. So proper sitting arrangement, preferably on the ground floor, this is a matter to consider. If you are making arrangement for the examination, the person with locomotor disability or any type of disability under a specified disability you have already seen, they can be given the opportunity to appear in the examination, and their examination room should be on the ground floor. Their examination seat on the ground floor. So, and this, if the seat is on the ground floor, there should not be any confusion about the examination, because ground floor is important. If one person is there, the center has to make arrangement for one examinee only, and there should not be any confusion regarding this, that the same invigilator will invigilate. No, there will be separate invigilator, and there will be separate arrangements for even drinking water also. So this is very important facility, that make the seating arrangement on the ground floor. Recently, I was just visiting few centers, and I saw that every person, particularly during term end examination of IGNOU, and I saw, and I was very happy to see that all examination center were adhering with the examination guidelines and provided the seating arrangements of the person with disability at the ground floor. So it's a good, I think, good awareness and good sensitization, and people are taking care of the person with disability and providing the equal opportunity to the extent they can do. Then there is also a provision of alternative objective question in lieu of descriptive question. If it is demanded by the candidate that objective question can be provided instead of descriptive question, and it is provided for hearing impaired person. In addition to the existing policy of giving alternative question, for hearing impairment there is a policy that you provide them alternative question in lieu of question requiring visual input for person with visual impairment. But but you can just provide the objective question so that they can feel comfortable in answering that. So this guidelines also very, I think, provide the maximum equal opportunity to the persons with disability. So whatever we have just discussed, that was for the person with benchmark disability. So it means, and before this guideline, guideline I am going to refer now, that guidelines has been issued, that guideline has been released in the 2022. So before 2022, there was no guideline for providing such facility to person with a specified disability. Means the person is having disability, but the degree of disability is less than or 40%. It means person was not falling under the scope of 40%. So they were not considered as person with disability, benchmark disability. But now, because many conditions arise during examination, even a person having no disability, they can also face a temporary condition which is considered as disability. One person I saw during the visit of examination center, that he was having some sort of injury in the hand, right hand only, and he was not able to write. What happened in that sense? In that sense, we cannot deprive him for writing examination. He or she can avail the services of a scribe, provided he is having certificate of temporary writing problem by the medical officer. So this condition is must, and even examinee also follow such condition in toto, so that there should not be any confusion or any conflict during examination period. So considering all such situation, government has prepared and developed a guideline which was issued in the year 2022, 14th August 2022, and this guideline is called Guidelines for Conducting Written Examination for Persons with a Specified Disability. That guideline was called Guidelines for Conducting Written Examination for Persons with Benchmark Disability. Now it is person with a specified disability. So all 21 disability can be accommodated in this guideline, whether they are having less than 20% or more than 20%, less than 40% or more than 40%, it's hardly matter. If it is 30%, if it is 20%, they can also be provided facility during written examination. So again, for this specified disability also, the candidate should have the discretion of opting for his own scribe or request the examination body for the same. Like we saw in the exam benchmark disability guideline, in the same manner, here also the candidate can have his or her own scribe, and they can also, if no scribe is available, then they can also request the examining body to provide the services of a scribe. Then the examination body may identify the scribe to make panels at the district, division, state level as per the requirement of the examination. This mainly happens with the competitive examination body who are conducting competitive examination. They prepare a panel for a scribe. They get application from the person who are ready to volunteer as a scribe, and the services of all these scribe volunteer provided to the person with disability, having a specified disability, and who are demanding or requiring for the services of a scribe. But that is also supported by the qualification of the scribe should be less than one level of the examination being conducted. So, if the person is being provided the services of a scribe by the examining body or examination body, then it is the right of the person with disability having less than 40% disability to just check with the scribe or meet the scribe before and see that whether that scribe is suitable to him or her not. If the person scribe which has been provided by the examination body is not fulfilling the requirement of that candidate who is going to give examination, it means that scribe is not suitable for the person, suitable for the examination. And if there are so many conditions, like if a scribe is not able to write properly, if a scribe is not able to grasp the dictation, if a scribe is not able to reach on time, even though so many things which they interact with each other and considered that whether the person is fit or suitable to the examination or not. Then in case the examination body provides the scribe, it shall be ensured that qualification of the scribe should not be more than the minimum qualification criteria of the examination. So again, it must be ensured by the examination body as well as the person concerned who are involved in the examination that the qualification of the person should not be more than the qualification criteria of the examination, rather not even the same qualification, it should be less than the criteria of the examination. Then however, the qualification of the scribe should always be matriculate and above. This we discussed before also, that it should not be less than matriculation or even 10th. Then other thing is that in case the candidate is allowed to bring his own scribe, the qualification of the scribe should be one step below. The qualification of the candidate taking examination, the person opting for own scribe should submit detail of own scribe. Yes, it is important. If any examinee is opting for her or his own scribe, it is the duty of the candidate to provide details about that scribe. One case I can refer that one candidate was appearing for the examination, competitive examination, and I am not going to take the name, rather I will tell that she or he, they make the scribe of his own father, who was very competent, who was much qualified than that person. But that examination was having bachelor degree examination. That basic qualification of that competitive examination was bachelor degree. And that person was more than bachelor degree. And because of the non-awareness of the guideline, he was allowed by the examining body to provide the services as a scribe, but it was not disclosed over there the person is having close relation with the examinee. So it was not described. However, it was disclosed by anyway, It was disclosed, and since it was examination was conducted, so there was nothing to do, but it must be ensured that the qualification of that scribe should not be more than the persons with disability, or per the examination is being conducted, the criteria for the examination. So, detailed submission is very important. And there should also be a flexibility in accommodating any change in a scribe in case of emergency. The candidate should also be allowed to take different scribe for writing different papers, especially for languages. If the candidate is going to appear for English or Hindi, then it is the discretion on the candidate that they can just change their services of scribe as per the requirement of the language. And even the subject also, they can change the services of scribe, as we discussed in the previous benchmark disability also. But there is a strict provision that there can be only one scribe per subject, not two scribes. Nobody can take the services of two scribes together. Only one scribe, services of one scribe can be taken. Then the candidate should be allowed to use aids and assistive devices such as prosthetic and orthotics, hearing aid, and as mentioned in para 2 of the certificate. The certificate which is issued by the competent authority is already there is a writing rider that they can use this much of prosthetic, this much of orthotics, they can use this brand of hearing aid. All these are prescribed in the prescription, and based on that, all these prosthetic, orthotics, hearing aid are allowed during examination. And again, the compensatory time, whatever the extra time, compensatory time, additional time is given to the person with benchmark disability during examination, the 20 minutes per hour or altogether 60 minutes in a 3 hours duration examination, the same is being allowed to person with a specified disability also. It means less than 40%. They can also be given the same facility. In case the duration of examination is less than an hour, then the duration of the compensatory time should be allowed on pro rata basis. Many examinations are half hour duration, 45-minute duration. So, accordingly, on pro rata basis, this can be divided and this can be provided to the persons with disability, but we cannot deny in any condition. Compensatory time should also not be less than 5 minutes. So, this compensatory time should not be less than 5 minutes, rather it should be minimum at least 5 minutes compensatory time must be given. Then as far as possible, the examination of such person, even a specified person with a specified disability, may be held on ground floor. As we saw in the previous benchmark disability, that they should be provided preferably on ground floor sitting arrangement. In the same way, the sitting arrangement of person with a specified disability should be provided on ground floor, so that they can feel comfortable in at least communication, at least mobility, or should not feel any discomfort or confusion during examination. So, these are the things which can be given during, these are the facility which is very important, and all institutions, all competitive examinations body, all must adhere to this guideline for the care and cause of persons with disability, students with disability, all persons who are appearing for the competitive examination. All these are important because of providing equal opportunity to persons with disability and for protecting their rights, because RPWD Act, Rights of Person with Disability Act, is provided them, consider them as a right, not the charity. And we are not giving them or providing them any sort of charity. We are not providing them any extra thing. Rather, we are providing them as per their rights and which is required for them, because here important aspect is environment, not the person. So, environment must be friendly with the need of the persons with disability, and to make it, we have to provide the required support to persons with disability. So, for any things which is required to be known by you, if you want to know anything related to the examination guidelines, you can write to us. Our email is ncds@ignou.ac.in, and you just write your question, you write your doubt, so that we can answer in time, and you must interact with us through email, that has been ncds@ignou.ac.in. And with this, I must thank you all. Thank you very much.